Hey guys, I thought I would do a little video on me in my normal state. Most of the videos I've posted so far have been me in a very depressed state, or some of them in light depressed state and some of them in more severe depressed state. But this is my normal self. One day, hopefully, I hope to post hypomania. But I'm on mood enhancing, mood stabilizing medication now, so I'm not sure whether we're ever going to see hypomania again, but I hope we do because it's kind of fun. Okay, I also wanted to talk about borderline personality disorder, which is something that my psychiatrist brought up in the last session. I didn't really know much about it as usual, and so I've only just done some research last night. And I was kind of thinking, well, everything rang so true with me in bipolar type 2 disorder. So, where is this borderline personality coming from? And, the few things I'd read about it, about self-harm and things, just aren't me. So I was kind of a little bit confused. But so I did some more research last night. And there's definitely a few characteristics of borderline personality disorder that do ring true with me, but there are some of them that don't. So at the moment, in my mind, instead of having sort of one or the other, to me, it sort of seems to be both, because there's certain things in bipolar type 2 that aren't, part of borderline personality disorder, and certain things that I do in that. So yeah, and apparently 10% of people have both. So not 10% of the general population, but 10% of people with these two disorders will have both disorders at the same time. So I'm just going to go through a few things that I read last night about borderline personality disorder, and just explain about why they resonate with me. So the first thing that it says was problems in personal relationships. So I haven't had a relationship in 11 years, and all of the relationships I've had in the past, they've lasted for 3 to 5 months, and then usually I get completely bored and I just flick a switch and don't like them anymore. They just go from being amazing to nothing in my mind, and I can't stand them, so I just want to get rid of them. I've only had one relationship, the 5-month one, where I didn't actually flick that switch off, but that wasn't a situation of that was love, basically, and it was him moving to another country, so we didn't actually break up, so that was kind of hard. Self-image is another thing that it says is part of the characteristics, is that you have a very warped sense of self-image. And I've always been about a size 14 Australian, which is just like a little bit overweight. So I've kind of always struggled with that fact that I'm not, a skinny or like healthy person. But yeah, I gave up sugar 6 months ago, so it's all sort of coming off now. It'd be nice to actually be a normal size, whatever that is. Impulsive behaviour is another one. So it says risky sexual behaviour, cutting, or suicide attempts. So I've definitely always had risky sexual behaviour since I was in my late teens. But the cutting and the suicide attempts, definitely not. Never felt any need to self-harm and never wanted to kill myself. So that's a really positive thing that I don't have those. I really feel for those poor people that do, do self-harm to make them feel better and have suicide attempts, because I think that would just be horrible to go through. It says that it is all very closely related with your self-image and your social interactions in early adulthood. And I guess for me, my early interactions were, not feeling the right weight, and then, coming into contact with boys and boys liking you and then other boys not liking you and calling you fat and that kind of thing. I guess that really affected me in a way that it doesn't affect others. So I can see how that is part of it. Fear of rejection, they say, is another part of it. And I have such a fear of rejection that I don't, haven't, tried to enter into any relationships in the past 11 years. So, or apart from just recently. So I can definitely see that I have a massive fear of rejection. I keep even my friends at arm's length, and I don't allow myself to get into any kind of relationships with men because I just think they're going to abandon me anyway, so I may as well just not even enter into it in the first place because I don't want to get hurt. So definitely that's part of me. And then it says extremes of idealization and devaluation. So to me, I guess that's referring to, when I start to like a guy, and I will put him up on this pedestal and think that he's the perfect guy for me and be so ridiculously excited about it and he can do no wrong, and then something will happen and I will just flick a switch and they will become so devalued to me, and I will just think they are, the most horrible person, and I will have no feelings for them whatsoever. So I guess that's my interpretation of what they're saying there. It says feelings of emptiness as well is usually felt, and obviously I feel emptiness because I'm 36 and not married, don't have a partner, so that's kind of a given. Intense anger, it says, is one of the traits as well, and I do have sometimes very angry reactions to tiny little things, whilst driving, and just people that do dumb things, basically. But they can't help it if they're dumb, can they? Yeah, so that was basically all of it. But yeah, I guess I'm a little bit sort of still wary that, well, if I don't have any kind of self-harming issues, suicide attempts, or paranoia was another thing that I don't really get, then, does this disorder actually apply to me? So I guess it just warrants more investigation with my psychiatrist. So I have to wait till next year to get 2 more free sessions. Otherwise, they're about $434 per hour. Anyway, so yeah, this is me, normal state, explaining. What are we talking about? Borderline personality disorder. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Bye.